A very good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a very productive Tuesday and a great start to the new week. Now here's a sneak peek at our edition. Earlier Tuesday, President Paul Kagame received letters of credence from new envoys from Egypt, Canada, and Kenya. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente has presided over the Kickstart event for the Africa Food Systems Annual Summit 2024 that is expected to be held in Kigali in September this year. Once again, we're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and my name is Martina Avera. Earlier Tuesday, President Paul Kagame received letters of credence from new envoys from Egypt, Canada, and Kenya. We have more on this report from Adam Squizera.
Her Excellency Janet Mwawasi Oba of Kenya presented her credentials to President Paul Kagame on Tuesday. She emphasized that one of her key missions as the ambassador of Kenya to Rwanda is to strengthen the already existing relationship between the two countries in politics and diplomacy, with a focus on enhancing trade and economic cooperation.
Kenya aims to retain its position as one of Rwanda's top trade partners. Kenya exports to Rwanda foodstuff, beverages, pharmaceutical products, cement, iron and steel products, where Rwanda, on the other hand, exports to Kenya coffee, tea, horticultural foods, raw hides and skins. The trade volumes in the last years have risen, and I look forward to engaging the Rwandan authorities to build on this good relationship built over the years for exchange of goods and services. Kenya is also the main route for Rwanda's export and imports through Kenya's port of Mombasa, while numerous Kenyan companies have found a home here in Rwanda for business opportunities.
Ambassador Nelmina Mohammed Essam Alden Al-Shafi El-Zawahali is representing Egypt in Rwanda, and she also presented her letters of credence to the President Paul Kagame. She highlighted that her mission will focus on strengthening relations and cooperation between the two countries, particularly in the sectors of health, security, and military.
There's a political will on the Egyptian side to engage and to enhance our bilateral relations in all fields and in different sectors, namely the political, the economic, the health sector, the security and military.
Julie Crowley will represent Canada in Rwanda. As part of her priorities, she aims to enhance cooperation between Canadian universities and those in Rwanda to contribute to the sector of education. Additionally, she seeks to promote cooperation between the private sector of both countries, believing that this collaboration can improve investment opportunities in Rwanda.
We will also encourage the partnership between Canadian universities and Rwandan universities so that that technical collaboration can take place and enrich the offer here in terms of masters, PhDs, and the like. We already have roughly a dozen Canadian companies that are active in Rwanda, some in the mining sector, some in the renewable energy sector, as well as some that are partnering in the education sector. So we are going to be focusing on those sectors, but as well as exploring other areas that could offer potential. I'm thinking notably to ICT. Which Rwanda is already a hub and positioning itself greatly in the region.
These three envoys who presented their letters of credence to the President of the Republic will be based here in Kigali. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
President Paul Kagame has received students and faculty members from the Stanford Graduate School of Business who are in Rwanda as part of their global study trip themed Nairobi and Kigali, developing sustainable and inclusive cities for the 21st century. The group is focused on understanding urban development dynamics across East Africa cities and is accompanied by Benoit Monin, a faculty advisor and professor in organizational behavior. President Paul Kagame also met with Yemi Osinbajo, the former vice president of Nigeria and high representative of the Timbuktu Africa Innovation Foundation, on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum annual meeting in January this year. The UNDP, Rwanda, and 7 other African countries launched the Timbuktu Africa Innovation Fund, an initiative that aims to invest $1 billion over 10 years into 1,000 tech startups across Africa. Now, Prime Minister Dr. Edward Ngirente has presided over the Kickstart event for the Africa Food Systems Annual Summit 2024 that is expected to be held in Kigali in September this year. We have more on this report.
During the launch event, it was noted that Africa's agricultural sector needs to adopt modern technology to be able to meet the continent's growing demand and eradicate hunger by 2063, while at the same time attracting younger generations to the profession.
It is a call for stakeholders, world leaders, investors, academics, farmers, and the private sector and other organizations to come together and seize the multiple opportunities before us to do more to deliver food systems transformation at a faster scale and phase and a much larger scale. Technology and innovation are essential for attracting youth and securing the future of our food systems. To speed up the delivery of sustainable and prosperous food systems and secure and ensure food and nutritional security, we must urgently involve all actors and put women and youth at the helm.
Southern Africa has 22.8 million people facing food shortages, while in Eastern Africa there are 4 million people in Ethiopia and 5.7 million in South Sudan facing famine. In Western Africa, Burkina Faso has 3 million people without enough to eat, while in Rwanda, a report by the Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa shows that food shortages have reduced by 13.33%, while food prices have also dropped by 27.44% in 1 year. The private sector on the continent is therefore being called upon to work with governments to deal with the effects of climate change that have been affecting agricultural output.
Climate change is battering us left and right. If you know what's happening in Zambia now, Southern Africa, most of Southern Africa, or if you see the heat that is going on across the continent, these things are real. So we really need the collaboration that was meant to be in the Africa Food Systems Forum.
Rwanda has 3.4 million people working in the agricultural sector, which by extension has helped to create as many as 400,000 other jobs in different sectors. And last year, agriculture contributed 27% of Rwanda's GDP.
In Rwanda, agriculture remains key in our economy. Over the years, this sector has made significant contributions to our country's GDP, created income for our people, helped reduce poverty, and generated employment opportunities. To transform the agricultural sector into a powerful engine for economic development, our country is embracing innovation and making evidence-based policy decisions. In this context, the government of Rwanda has focused on de-risking the sector to ensure that it becomes more profitable and attractive for the youth and the private sector actors. This approach has played an important role in addressing the issue of aging population in the sector, boost sector financing, and improve weaker markets and value chain linkages.
Africa's food imports have been on the rise, increasing from $35 billion in 2015 to $100 billion in 2021.
Psychiatrists, researchers, and other health-related institutions believe that the best way to deal with mental health problems is to prevent them and treat them from a young age, because many of these problems start under 25 years of age. Olive Nete has more.
In a joint discussion between these institutions, they look together at what can be done to find a sustainable solution to the problem of mental health that continues to rise around the world, especially among young people. In these discussions, a program called Cross Mind was initiated, which aims to help young ones to deal with mental health problems. It is a program made in collaboration with the University of Rwanda and the University of Aarhus, located in Denmark. Joseph Kalisa, a clinical psychologist, researcher, and professor at the University of Rwanda, explains how this program will help.
So the cross-mind is we're looking at how can we be able to respond in 3 different countries, learning from each other. So this intervention will be focusing on adolescents in schools, and will be in Rwandan schools, in Nepal, and also in Denmark. We're trying to use the models that are not medical heavy. So we're trying to see how can, for example, playing at a school level, in a school ground, how can things like sports, how can things like songs that children and adolescents enter into can be built up in ways that is helping, and how can teachers try to listen or have a listening ear through these approaches and techniques we'll be using.
Mental health disorders can be caused by a variety of issues, including family conflicts, social problems, dissatisfaction, and others. The most common of these disorders include depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, PTSD, and various others. Dr. Musoni Emmanuel, a psychiatrist, points out that it is good to take care of children's development because what they see or hear can have long-term effects.
Talk about education these days. Our family, our parents, they are more busy in looking for what we have to wear, what we have to eat, but the most important things for the child, which is, let's use the word affection, the word security, the word, let's say, understanding. They don't have that. Most of them, one goes to work at night, the other goes to work at day. So the child is not having, let's say, the surrounding that it's needed. So this can cause him not to be self-confident in him. It can cause him to see situations in a way that traumatize him rather than a way in a secure way. So that and also of course genetics, because we also in our family we have also many other diseases that can, if you have depressed people in your family, we can't be astonished to see your kids also having people who can be depressed.
In particular, a large number of Rwandan citizens are young people, 10.2% of whom are between the ages of 14 to 18, are experiencing mental health problems, including depression and suicidal thoughts. Dr. Darius Gishoma, Division Manager of Mental Health Division at the Rwanda Biomedical Center, notes that the best way to deal with these problems is to start addressing them at a young age, as research shows that many of these problems start under the age of 25.
To develop a specific intervention in schools, because we know that children spend a lot of time at school, so we don't want to wait for them to having serious symptoms. So the intervention that is going to be developed, tested, is to provide the solution at school. And when we have severe symptoms, that's when people will go to health.
Currently in Rwanda, people can access mental health services from the health center. In particular, there are also specialized centers providing these services only. The cross-mind approach will be used in secondary schools in the period of 5 years. After being used for a year in Rwanda, the method will also be adopted in other countries such as Nepal and Denmark. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Ollie, for that report. Now moving on to the education sector. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Education officially launched the Smart Education Program that will assist teachers and students in accessing the best education through the fastest internet. The initiative aligns with Rwanda's vision to transform into a knowledge-based economy by leveraging modern technology, especially in education, and it was launched in Kigali at the University of Rwanda, Kigali campus. Christelle Wase has more.
This program started with few schools in October 2022, and it has contributed to the students' education as a solution to the fast internet that helps teachers in uploading marks and assignments online and also assist the students in research of the assignments given to them.
As soon as it came here, we started searching whatever information we need that it can be helpful to the learners on different platforms, on Google. Then we have been able to equip our learners with the necessary skills that they need really to outsmart others.
At the beginning of giving us this internet, many students who did not know how to, who didn't have the opportunity to understand all the studies he or she have been given in the class. He considered to use this internet and use it to see, to do the researches that the teachers have told him or her to do.
The Minister of State at the Ministry of Education, Irere Claudette, stressed that the leaders of schools should take care of the equipments and materials given to them in assisting this program and also bring their contribution in distribution and management of the internet provided to their schools.
First of all is to ensure that they take care of the infrastructure or the equipment that we give to them. And, for every school that receives any type of equipment that we give to them, they have to sign a consent form. And then two is to ensure that they are disseminating the connectivity. It's one thing to get the connectivity to the school, but it's also another thing to make sure that it's disseminated. The students, the staff, the teachers, the professors are also using it, and that's the responsibility of the schools.
So far, the Smart Education program has cost more than $30 million. It has reached over 500 schools and it is planned to reach all 1,500 schools, including universities, by the end of this year in order to provide fast internet. Christelle Oase, RwandaTV News.
Thank you very much for sticking with us on RTV News.